Right now at 6, McDonald County students put their STEM skills to the test in a STEM-a-palooza event.
And although we've got what looks like a very pretty sunrise out there, it is much cooler this morning and it's going to remain that way. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, an organization in the 4 states is looking for families to host exchange students for the next school year.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News at 6 a.m. I'm Amber Jenkins.
And I'm Chris Warner. So, I was actually, and this is true, and you saw it, I was falling asleep.
Yeah, he was.
During our 5 o'clock hour. And it dawned on me, I was literally this close to being out, unconscious.
I had to wake up, wait.
And then I realized it's because I got a tea when I got here because I wanted something cold, and I never actually got coffee.
You need that caffeine.
So I've got some coffee, so I'm going to wake up. We're going to get this Friday underway. Man, I was really about to fall asleep.
With the caffeine.
Yeah, coffee keeps you guys. The finest organic suspension ever devised. And unfortunately, you're going to need a little extra coffee, or at least something warm this morning, because it is quite chilly outside. Let's take a quick look first. This is our camera on top of the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. It looks great. We've got clear skies out to the east. Clouds will gradually increase across the area, but look at those colors. Looks beautiful. Unfortunately, the temperature's not as beautiful. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line. Looking pretty good as well as folks get their day underway, but here's those temperatures. 46 in Joplin right now, 44 in Pittsburgh, so a very chilly start to the day. And as you look at temperatures around the region, the 54 corridor has been one of the cooler spots as they've been back into the lower 40s. As you head further south, it does warm up a little bit. We go upper 40s and even some low 50s, and Miami still holding on to the warm spot, sitting at 51 degrees this morning. Kids getting on the bus, it's going to look about like this. We're looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies, a bit breezy, north winds 15 to 20, gusting to 25, and right about 44, so they're going to definitely want a jacket, and they'll want to keep that jacket handy. Northeast winds later today, 10 to 15 with occasional gusts to 25. Partly to mostly cloudy skies, 63 when the bus brings them home. And boy, we are not going to do much better than that. We should be about 70, and we're looking at low to mid 60s for our highs today. Again, partly to mostly cloudy skies across the area, and those occasional wind gusts as well. It is actually going to get colder. Not significantly so, but it will feel significantly colder as we head into the weekend. And we've got warmer temperatures and thunderstorms on the way next week. We're going to look at all that in detail with the full forecast a little later. Amber?
Thanks, Chris. The Grammy, Missouri School District yesterday called in a juvenile detention officer after a handgun was found at the elementary and junior high school. Superintendent Scott Charleston says a student reported seeing the weapon to administrators. Officials did an investigation and found the weapon in a backpack, an unloaded pistol. The school resource officer and juvenile detention officers were called in to help. The 4th of 6 suspects in a Newton County kidnapping conspiracy is sentenced. A federal judge sentenced Amy Thomas of Webb City to 20 years in prison for kidnapping, conspiracy, and illegally possessing a firearm. It's a part of a kidnapping case that ended with the murder of the victim. You can read more about it on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. The people of Southeast Kansas will have a new representation in Congress next year. The U.S. Congressman Jake LaTurner announced yesterday he will not seek re-election. The Galena native has served in the U.S. House of Representatives for the Kansas 2nd District since 2021. He plans to finish out the remainder of his term, but will not seek to maintain his seat in the fall. LaTurner and his wife have 4 young children, and the congressman says he wants to spend more time with family. In a written statement, LaTurner says in part, quote, "The busy schedule of serving and running for Congress has taken a toll. The unrepeatable season of life we are still in, where our kids are still young and at home, is something I want to be more present for." LaTurner also expressed optimism about the nation's future. You can read the entire statement in full at KOAMnewsnow.com. To be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. An organization in the 4 states is looking for families to host exchange students for the next school year. Exchange students are high schoolers from all over the world wanting to experience the American way of life. Participant families don't get paid, but they do get the experience the joy of having another culture in their home while sharing their own culture.
I knew that it was going to be way different from where I'm from, and that's what's good about it, because that's what makes it special.
It's also been really beneficial for my own two children, teenage boys who have been introduced to his culture as his family has shipped over some foods and things like that we've been able to experience. Plus, we just have great conversation about we've never been to Italy ourselves.
Host families need to provide a bed, 3 meals a day, and transportation. They also need to treat students as a family member. For more information on how to become a host family, go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. McDonald County students are sharpening their skills in science, technology, and engineering and math. Yesterday, students engaged with each other to put those skills to the test. KOAM's Anthony Saviello has more.
Engineering, coding, and robotics, aka STEMapalooza at McDonald County High School.
It's amazing. That's what I every year I don't want to do it, right? The day before I'm like, this is the last year ever. But when it becomes this and I see the joy and now they have t-shirts, all matching t-shirts, which is super cute. It makes it all worth it.
Kids ages kindergarten to 8th grade all take part in this event. Creativity and intelligence of young minds blossoms here, with the added encouragement of some friendly competition.
We're probably going to beat some of them, but maybe not all of them.
According to teacher Joyce Pacheco, this event also teaches these students some valuable and essential skills they will need later in life.
Yes, teamwork is crucial, because without that, learning it at a young age, we're not doing them any justice when they leave school, because wherever you work, whatever your job, you're always going to be working in a team, and those skills will go with you the rest of your life.
It was good. I don't usually like working in teams, but this team was good.
I liked working with my team and having some help.
They may need a little more practice before they start designing real roller coasters, but it's still safe to say that the future is bright for these Mustangs. Reporting in McDonald County, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
High school students were also present at the event to help the younger students and teach them more about each category. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in your first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, the FAA is investigating a near collision between two jet lines at Washington's National Airport. Plus, today marks day 4 of former President Donald Trump's Manhattan trial. And Chris Warner returns with another look at your Friday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch this morning, Netflix made some risky moves last year, but it seems to have paid off. The streaming service cracked down on users sharing passwords, which pushed users to get their own accounts. And now, in the first 3 months this year, Netflix announced it had gained more than 9 million subscribers. That brings Netflix to a record high number of subscribers, nearly 270,000. Netflix also announced Thursday that it will stop sharing its quarterly subscriber numbers next year. The FAA is investigating a near collision Thursday between two jetliners at Washington National Airport Thursday. The two planes were on an apparent collision course after being cleared onto the same runway at Reagan National. The collision was narrowly averted when the air traffic controllers frantically radioed each plane to stop. Audio recordings detail controllers shouting for a JetBlue flight to stop its takeoff run as a Southwest Airlines flight began taxiing across the runway in front of it. The two planes stopped about 400 feet apart. Following the incident, the JetBlue plane taxied back to the runway threshold and took off for Boston Logan. The Southwest plane eventually also took off bound for Orlando. Southwest says it's working closely with the Federal Aviation Administration to better understand what happened. Today marks day 4 of former President Donald Trump's Manhattan's trial. The court will resume with trying to pick 5 more jury alternates after selecting 12 jurors and 1 alternate yesterday. The judge says opening statements could begin as soon as Monday. Trump has pleaded not guilty to the charges of falsifying business records to hide an alleged affair ahead of the 2016 election. Jared Hill has the latest from New York.
A jury of 7 men and 5 women has been chosen to decide the fate of former President Donald Trump in his Manhattan criminal trial, though not without a little courtroom drama. Judge Juan Merchan excused one previously seated juror, a nurse, who said she could no longer be impartial, adding, quote, "Aspects of my identity have already been out there in public." The judge also dismissed juror number 4 after it emerged that someone with the same name was once arrested for allegedly ripping down conservative political posters, according to prosecutors.
You don't want to go through 6 weeks and all the expense of this and then have a problem with a juror that can cause a mistrial.
The judge has now ordered members of the press not to report on the physical appearance of the jurors.
The whole world is watching this New York scam.
Outside of the courtroom Thursday, Trump showed off a stack of favorable news headlines while railing against the judge, the Manhattan DA, and the proceedings.
It's a shame. And I'm sitting here for days now, from morning till night, in that freezing room, freezing.
Prosecutors claim Trump has violated the judge's gag order more than 7 times, pointing to his social media posts. The judge will hear arguments on that next week. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Former President Trump is back in the courtroom today as required, while the court attempts to seat 5 final alternates for the jury. Tomorrow, Trump will be back on the campaign trail with a rally planned in North Carolina. That's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got ourselves a much cooler start to the day out there. Skywatch Storm Tracker showing clouds, and these clouds will continue to roll into the area, so we're going to be partly to mostly cloudy as we go through today with temperatures below average. Our camera 7th and range line, look at that sunrise, though. It looks absolutely gorgeous, even though the temperatures don't match. We're going to be partly to mostly cloudy as we head through the day. Highs only into the low to mid 60s. We will eventually warm up, but it's going to take a few days. We'll have the details on all of that in your full forecast here in just a few more minutes on the KOAM Morning News.
Are you still wondering what happened to Tony Soprano after the season finale Cut the Black? Well, now you could know the answer. A 14-year-old Sopranos video has resurfaced, and people are joking that it reveals Tony's fate. Janine Moose reports it was created in an effort to attract a basketball superstar to New York.
If you still find yourself annoyed, frustrated by that leave 'em hanging finale to The Sopranos when they just cut to black. Well, now, if you don't stop believing, there's an answer that suggests Tony didn't get whacked.
Tony's alive!
Podcaster Pablo Torre has dug up a long rumored to exist video featuring James Gandolfini and Edie Falco.
Tony, I'm so glad we moved to New York. Life is so much better now.
Yeah, life's good here, Carl. Even if we are in the witness protection program.
Tony, a rat? The skit was done 14 years ago, a couple of years after The Sopranos finale. The New York Knicks made a failed effort to lure LeBron James to New York with a 10-minute video that began with Tony and Carmella.
Now we just gotta find a place for your friend LeBron to live.
The now departed Jim Gandolfini was known for playing hard to get, but to recruit LeBron?
Jim was into this. He was really into it.
So they scour the listings for somewhere for LeBron to live.
One of a kind, like he is.
Well, here's a place.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's gonna be perfect for him.
The Sopranos were joined by other New York celebs.
Real winners of the world want to be here.
From Donald Trump to Chris Rock.
And you know what else we got, LeBron? We got other famous people. So maybe you won't feel like such a freak.
But the Sopranos were the gem in this long-lost video artifact. Even if it's a bit like the show finale.
What looks good tonight?
Not this.
Yeah, that's it. That's gonna be perfect for him.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
Oh my God, the Knicks made The Sopranos bad.
Jeannie Moose, CNN, New York.
Well, they definitely tried it. It would be kind of interesting to see LeBron on a New York team, whether it's the Knicks or the Brooklyn Nets. But just think about it. If he went to New York, we would never had experienced Miami Heat LeBron. Okay, that was an error, but I won't rant anymore. Now, here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Well, you're going to be ranting about these below average temperatures the next few days. I'm telling you, it's not going to feel too pleasant, but it will eventually warm up. We'll have all the details on that in your full forecast, and that's coming up right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 622 on this Friday morning here in the 4 states, and this is a live, a live look from our camera on top of the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin. It looks great out there. Skies are clear off to the east, but back to the west, clouds are going to begin to increase across the area. MoDOT camera, 32nd in range line. A few more folks out there getting their days started. Looking forward to the weekend. Unfortunately, the weekend doesn't look too fantastic at this point. Excuse me, goodness. And KDOT camera, 69 Kansas Crossing, also looking good. This is our camera, 7th in range line. Another beautiful view of that sunrise. 46 in Joplin right now, so it is a bit chilly. Feels like 41 with that north-northeast breeze at about 10. Right along the Highway 54 corridors where our cooler temperatures have been. Low 40s out there. The coolest spot there, 40 in Iola. And then as you head further south, start to get into the mid-40s, and you get into low 50s. And now Miami tied with Grove for the warm spot, both at 51 degrees right now. As we head through the morning, it is going to be partly to mostly cloudy. Again, clouds are going to increase through the morning, about 54 by 11. Bit breezy out there, and we'll have occasional northeast wind gusts upwards of 25 miles per hour. Going into the afternoon, mostly cloudy skies for the majority of us. But remember, we do have a very broad coverage area. Some of you may only be partly cloudy, and some of you may be even clear for a little bit this afternoon. And so those that get a little clearer may be a little warmer, but on the average, we're looking at highs only in the low to mid 60s. And our average high is about 70 degrees for this time of year. Heading into the evening, mostly cloudy skies out there, and then we'll go partly cloudy. We'll actually clear out a little bit overnight tonight, and it's going to be very chilly, back into the low 40s across the area. And then we're going to see clouds return through the weekend, shower chances through the weekend as well. Then we head into next week, and we have thunderstorm chances once again. So Monday night, just outside of our area, thunderstorms out in Kansas, and those will make their way into our area by Tuesday morning. And showers and storms will be with us for most of our Tuesday, and they'll begin to exit the region by late evening. Our Wednesday, not too bad, partly to mostly cloudy skies, not that warm yet, but better. And then we're going to have additional rounds of showers and thunderstorms as we head into Thursday. We're going to see them start in the morning, and they will persist with us all the way into next weekend. And as we head toward the end of next week, some of these showers and storms are going to have the potential to be strong, potentially severe. So another system we're going to have to keep an eye on. Our weekend, though, I wish I had better news. I really do. But unfortunately, I don't. Scattered showers Saturday and Sunday, highs upper 50s, low 60s, so well below normal. About average on Monday, thunderstorms again on Tuesday, about average on Wednesday, and then we're going to really warm up, 80s heading into next weekend, but we've got to watch those thunderstorm chances as well as we head into next weekend. That's a check of your forecast. I'm going to send it over now to Amber with Health Watch.
Since the COVID-19 virus emerged more than 4 years ago, it has evolved, and new research shows how the virus may be taken advantage of hosts who are immunocompromised. Data presented at the European Society of Clinical Microbiology and Infectious Diseases tracked a patient with compromised immune system who was infected more than 600 days and found that case led to a highly mutated COVID variant. They say long-term infections gives the virus more opportunities to evolve. Scientists at the University of California, San Francisco have identified the cells in the human airway that help make sure water doesn't go down the wrong pipe. The neuroendocrine cells sense water or acid in the upper airway and sends a signal to the brain to trigger a cough. The research could someday help provide better treatment for patients with chronic cough or to prevent pneumonia. And a new study has found mechanisms in the brain that may drive drug addiction. In a study, researchers at Mount Sinai tracked exactly how cocaine and morphine can alter the brain's reward system, with repeated exposure disrupting brain cells' ability to function normally. The research identified a specific gene that plays a role and could be a target for future therapies to treat addiction. In California, there's a new Department of Public Health campaign to raise awareness on youth suicide. Dominic Garcia looks at how the program was created with the input of dozens of teens.
I hope that this campaign lets people know that they don't have to struggle on their own.
Shaylin Dawkins knows suicide is a huge problem. So when he heard about the Never a Bother campaign,
I was all in from the second I heard about it.
He is one of more than 400 young Californians that shared their thoughts, feelings, and perspectives in how to best reach a younger generation.
We really had a say in, how the campaign looked and the messaging, even down to, simple things like the colors on the website or how the website even flowed.
Youth are their best spokespeople. You really need to give them the equipment and the resources, and they will help create those prevention messages.
Matt Cervantes is with the Sierra Health Foundation, one of the organizations involved. He says the campaign will be pushed out via traditional advertising, social media, and even use community outreach strategies. The big focus will be on populations they say are disproportionately impacted by suicide.
And that's the beautiful part about this campaign. It's youth-centered. It's providing and meeting young people where they're at.
There have been a lot of times, especially when I was younger, when I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know what resources to point them towards. And I think that this campaign is vital because it allows people a gateway to resources.
The hope is this gives youth a message that there is help out there, that they deserve it, and where to find it. Dominic Garcia, CBS News, Sacramento.
That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back.
In the heart of Grove, Oklahoma.
Right now at 6:30, Freeman Health System hosted a signing day event for 40 new graduate nurses.
And while we've got a pretty decent looking start to the day, it is considerably cooler out there. We'll take a look at that forecast. Get you out the door coming up.
Plus, the Joplin Health Department is taking part in National Dog Bite Prevention Week.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning, 4 states, and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:31 a.m. I'm Amber Jenkins.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is finally Friday here in the 4 states.
We made it through the week.
We did.
We did it.
I don't know how, but we did. We made it. But it is considerably colder out there. So
yes, it is.
Maybe if you have the day off or maybe you have an opportunity to work from home, don't have to go outside in the cold.
I'm jealous.
I would recommend it because, boy, it is chilly. I told you this morning, I was going to get gas this morning, and I looked at the temperature before I walked out the door. I'm like, nope.
Nah.
I'm like,
Next
it's windy, it's cold. I've got enough to get by for right now. I'll take care of it later. I recommend that. It's going to be a bit on the chilly side. Let's start with a look outside. This is the MoDOT camera. 30-second in range line attached firmly to a traffic signal pole sitting on the southeast corner of the street. And it is showing us a pretty decent start to the day as folks get their day underway here. And as we take a look at temperatures, again, temperatures don't feel so great out there. 46 in Joplin right now, 44 in Pittsburgh. And as we mentioned through the morning, the Highway 54 corridor, the furthest northern extent of our viewing area, has been also the coldest as they're in the low 40s out there, with Iola as the cold spot at 40. But then as you head further south, you reach a belt of about mid 40s out there, and even further south, you start to go low 50s, and Miami and Grove tying for the warm spot on our map at 51 apiece. Kids getting on the bus, they're going to want to have a jacket with them. They're going to say, no, I don't want a jacket. It's April. It's almost May. Well, they're going to need it. It's going to be 44. North breeze at 10 to 15, gusts to 25 miles an hour. I do not find the bus stop forecast amusing. I was just told something amusing in my ear. That's the voices in our head. They tell us things that sometimes amuse us. 63 when the bus brings them back home. Mostly cloudy skies, northeast breeze 10 to 15 with occasional gusts upwards of 25 miles an hour. As we go through the, okay, are we sure? Okay. All right. Like I said, it's so weird when we have tour groups come in and we're talking to our producers and the tour groups out here. They've maybe never been to a TV station before. They just hear us conversing with ourselves, and it kind of weirds them out sometimes. But I assure you, I'm not just having a conversation with myself, though it is possible. All right. Mostly cloudy skies out there. We're looking at highs only in the low to mid 60s. So that's the thing, though, is our average high is about 70. Not going to be near that. In fact, we're going to be even cooler than this as we head into the weekend. We'll have the details on that, plus next week's storm chances in the full forecast, and that's coming up here in just a little bit. Amber?
Thanks, Chris. The Arvis Foundation yesterday made a donation to a local organization that helps adults with disabilities. The $5,000 gift to the Shine Foundation will allow them to purchase a second laser engraving machine. The members of the Shine program use machines to make engraved wooden items, which are then sold to benefit Shine and its mission.
This is our second laser engraver, and we use it to make all sorts of beautiful products here at Shine. Candle lids, charcuterie boards, Christmas ornaments. We can use your logo and we can brand products for you. And this is part of how we raise our funds, our fundraising for our day program here.
Shine Joplin is located at 831 Sycamore Street. Signing days are usually reserved for standout athletes, but what about standout nursing graduates? Freeman Health System yesterday hosted a signing day for 40 new graduate nurses ready to take the next steps in their careers. This is a milestone for their path in becoming licensed nurses with Freeman. The Joplin Health Department is taking part in National Dog Bite Prevention Week. Officials warn any dog can bite, even the trusted ones, and the bites can come at any time. Children are the most common victims of dog bites, which can be painful and spread germs that can cause infections. The health department is stressing the crucial role of training and proper socialization can play in preventing bites.
Yourself, your hands, your arms, your body, between them to break that up, because they're not thinking about you. They're thinking it's the other dog, and they will attack you. What we suggest in that situation, if your dog's getting in a fight or getting in a fight with a stray dog, is again, put a barrier in between them. A broom, a jacket, a blanket.
National Dog Bite Prevention Week runs through Saturday. Pitt State installs AEDs and Narcan boxes to help campus safety. Students, employees, and visitors now have access to 25 Narcan boxes and 62 automated external defibrillators in the event of an emergency. They are installed in residence halls and other common areas. Officials say the life-saving devices will go a long way in improving safety.
We have not had a problem on campus, and that is a good thing. But if we ever do have a problem on campus and we need it, it's going to be close. And all our officers carry them on their belt or on their vest. So we're prepared to use Narcan in the event of an emergency. I'm very fortunate to say that we haven't had an emergency on campus.
Pitt State's boxes and doses were provided through a grant funding in cooperation with the Crawford County Sheriff Department. KOAM's Hero Fund USA Day of Giving Telethon raised more than $8,500 yesterday to purchase life-saving equipment like turnout gear and ballistic vests for first responders. We partnered with Roper Honda for the event. Last year, the White Rock Fire Protection District received enough money to purchase a thermal imaging camera, gas detectors, and collaboration kits, something the deputy chief says they couldn't have done without Hero Fund USA.
Very, very difficult because we operate on a very minimal basis, basically just trying to keep gas in trucks, keep them repaired and keep them running, and having that extra money in your budget to buy equipment like that, sometimes you do without, which is not good for a small fire department or any fire departments. But
this year, the Hero Fund is attempting to raise more than $33,000 to fill requests from 7 departments across the 4 states. You can still donate online at KOAMnewsnow.com/HeroFund. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. If it's Friday, then you know what that means. We got Shannon Becker live in the studio to help us close out the week with the big 3 stories of the week. And now we have a cool but partly cloudy day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We got Shannon Becker in the studio with his big 3 news stories of the week. Good morning.
Hello, how are you?
Doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Doing great. A little cooler today, but that's fine. That's fine. Let's take a look at these hot stories. Big 3 stories of the week, live and local. Children's Miracle Network. It's one of the organizations that Ollie's supports across the country. They helped cut the grand opening ribbon the other day. There were actually like hundreds of people. Look at that line.
Yeah, very long.
I mean,
wow.
Yeah, it's at 1329 South Range Line, the former Slumberland location. They just kind of say it like it is right there on the sign, huh? Good stuff, cheap.
To the point.
Yeah, exactly. Let's not mince any words. So like if there's some Legos there. If someone's going out of business, a big company perhaps, they'll buy all of their stuff. They have tons of books. They have these really cool signs that are very funny. All around the store, it's got this guy named Ollie who actually founded the company in the early 1980s. He's passed away now, but it's really a kind of kitschy, fun store that every time you go in, you're going to find something different. They also have a flyer that's released every week, like a weekly special. You can sign up for that or check it out online. They have a text alert, all that sort of jazz. Check out Ollie's. Our number 2 story, KOAM News Now, something I've never witnessed at this large of a scale. 19 cars derailed. It blocked the main street in Wyandotte, Oklahoma. Happened late Saturday night. A BNSF train was traveling from the Seneca area into Oklahoma. It was experiencing some kind of issues, some grass fires in between the 2 towns had had started along the way, meaning there's probably something dragging, or even some people there in Wyandotte said they saw some of the wheels on the train were just bright red.
Oh, wow.
Like they were maybe stopped, you know. Well, whatever it is, 19 cars there derailed. It's just like a massive event. Nobody was hurt though, which is amazing. It took them about 36 hours before they had the tracks rebuilt and trains were rolling through again. And then about 48 hours later, they actually opened up Main Street again with the signals repaired. More details on our website. Our number 1 story. You ever heard of a beefaroo?
No, I have not.
I have not either. I was thinking kangaroo, but no, nothing to do with kangaroos either. Beefaroo, it's a restaurant that started in Rockford, Illinois in the 1960s, and just in the last couple of years, I mean, we're talking way back when. So in the last couple of years, they got bought by a different company. Now they're launching all across the country. So Beefaroo would be like comparative to a Mr. Quick that we had here in the Joplin area. They have these famous cheese fries, and then that guy running around with that hamburger and dancing it. They're taking over the Hardee's locations that closed in the last year. You can see the menu, check out more details, and they kind of I've seen them have some backyard burger locations.
Oh, okay.
So they just kind of move into older buildings and kind of it's doing really well. And then our bonus story of the week, tonight, the Food Network, Joplin is featured as the best bite in town. There are 6 restaurants that will battle it out, the battle royale of sorry about that. The best bite in town. It's at 8 o'clock. It's on the Food Network, so you'll have to be sure you have cable or you've got satellite or something like that. They recorded it last fall here in Joplin. It was top secret. Did you know anything about it?
No, I didn't. Wow.
They actually told me to stay away.
Wow.
Like we don't want to know about the secrets and stuff. So I was like, all right,
okay then.
You do your thing. So it's the bonus story this week. Best Bite in Town tonight on the Food Network. Check it out.
Man, making me hungry.
I know.
Jeez.
It's some of that's a little fancy. I'm going for the beefaroo. You know, you see me here.
Hey, tell me how it is.
I know. Well, I haven't either. We'll have to go there. That's the best bite in town, a beefaroo.
Beefaroo. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the big 3 stories, or well, 4, they sounded pretty awesome this week.
It's been busy, as always.
I know you always stay on it.
I try.
Well, thank you so much. We'll be right back after this.
Time for some Friday birthdays here in the 4 states, and we're going to begin with Claire Miller in Carl Junction celebrating birthday number 5. Happy birthday.
Landry Shalhoub is turning 9 in Seneca, Missouri. She's a 3rd grader in Miss Kelly's class, nicknamed Chirpy because she's pretty chatty.
Nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. In fact, you can grow up and become a newscaster and talk all day.
Exactly. And heading down to Anderson, we've got Peyton celebrating birthday number 9. Happy birthday.
Maddie LaGuicci is turning 17 in Frontenac, Kansas.
And Thaddeus Eads also celebrating birthday number 17 in Seneca. Says, have a wonderful birthday. Love Mom, Dad, Isaiah, Jalissa, Daniel, and Lacaria.
Abby is turning 19 in Webb City, Missouri. Happy birthday from her mom, Rebecca.
And Keegan Daniels celebrating birthday number 20 over in Galena. Happy birthday, Keegan.
Alexis Abbott is turning 23 in Thayer, Kansas.
And in Pittsburgh, Heather Bush celebrating birthday number 39. Happy birthday, Heather.
Trey Shaw is celebrating the Big 4-5 today.
And Frank Radspinner in Nevada celebrating birthday number 55. Happy birthday, Frank.
Ken Godfrey is turning 77 in Jasper, Missouri.
And Jay and Kendra Clements celebrating their 9th anniversary. A very happy anniversary to the Clements.
Teresa Wren is celebrating in Pittsburgh, Kansas.
And Brad and Elaine Clark celebrating their 50th anniversary over in Riverton. Happy anniversary to the Clarks.
Dixie Murdaugh is turning 85 in Parsons, Kansas.
And last but certainly not least, Matthew Bacon celebrating another year wiser in Pittsburgh. A very happy birthday and anniversary to everyone on our list. And that was a pretty fantastic list. It beats the one we had the other day with only like 4 or 5 on there. And we want to keep these lists going. Amber, what do they need to do?
You can submit your birthdays and anniversaries along with a nice photo. You can submit them to our email at birthdays@koamnewsnow.com.
Absolutely. And again, we love celebrating these birthdays and anniversaries, so please make sure you send them in so we can celebrate your special day with you. And it's going to be a pretty chilly one out there for those celebrating birthdays and anniversaries today. Looks pretty good, though, from our camera, downtown Joplin on the Cornell Complex. There's the sun. We got clear skies out to the east, but back to the west, clouds are continuing to roll into the area, and we'll start to go partly to mostly cloudy as we go through the morning. MoDOT camera, 32nd in range line, looking pretty good as well. Again, as folks get their day underway, and same from the KDOT camera on 69 right there at Kansas Crossing, looking fairly decent. But again, it doesn't feel so decent. Our camera, 7th in range line, another great view of that sunrise out there. It is 46 in Joplin right now, feeling like 41 though, with that north-northeast breeze at about 10 miles an hour. As we've been talking about through the morning, the Highway 54 corridor is the cool spot. Upper 30s now, 39 in Iola is the cool spot, low 40s. And as you head further south, it warms up just a little bit. We start to go mid 40s, upper 40s. Miami still not too bad, sitting at 50 degrees right now. We get our morning started. We're going to be through the 40s and eventually into the low 50s by late morning, and clouds will gradually increase out there, and the northeast winds will occasionally gust upwards of 25 miles an hour. We're looking to be partly to mostly cloudy through the afternoon hours out there, and we'll go right around the low 60s, so we're supposed to be right about 70, so not quite where we're supposed to be, but believe it or not, this is going to be warmer than the weekend is expected to be. It's going to be pretty darn chilly out there. As we go through the evening, again, mostly cloudy skies, eventually some gradual clearing overnight, partly cloudy and quite chilly as well as we go back into the low 40s tonight. And then we've got thunderstorm chances next week, a couple of different rounds of them. So Monday night, just outside of our area, showers, thunderstorms across parts of Kansas, and those will begin to shift into our area towards sunrise on Tuesday. Scattered showers and thunderstorms through the day on Tuesday, and then they'll begin to exit by the evening hours out there. Our Wednesday, not looking too bad, partly to mostly cloudy skies, a little warmer out there. And then take a look off to the southwest, another system bringing additional shower and thunderstorm chances across the area. As we go Thursday and all the way into next weekend, we'll have shower and thunderstorm chances sticking around with us. And as we get closer to the weekend, we're looking at an opportunity for another round of strong, potentially severe thunderstorms. So something we're going to have to keep a close eye on over the next several days. Heading into the weekend, upper 50s and low 60s out there, mostly cloudy skies and scattered showers. So not rain all day, but scattered showers out there, not too pleasant, unfortunately. Monday, naturally, looks pretty good. Then we've got those thunderstorm chances on Tuesday. And we start to really warm up, going well above average into the low to mid 80s by next weekend. And then again, we've also got to keep an eye on those thunderstorm chances toward the end of next week as well. We'll be back with another check of your forecast and the news you need to know here in just a moment. And when we make the transition to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., we're going to see how 3D printing is revolutionizing the racing scene. But that's only if you stick with us on Fox 14 at 7 a.m.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. The Granby, Missouri School District called in a juvenile detention officer after a handgun was found at the elementary and junior high school yesterday. Superintendent Scott Charleston says a student reported seeing the weapon to administrators. Officials did an investigation and found the weapon in a backpack. The fourth of 6 suspects in a Newton County kidnapping conspiracy is sentenced. A federal judge sentenced Amy Thomas of Webb City to 20 years in prison for a kidnapping conspiracy and illegally possessing a firearm. You can read more about it on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. U.S. Congressman Jake LaTurner announced yesterday he will not seek re-election. The Galena native has served in the U.S. House of Representatives for the Kansas 2nd District since 2021. He plans to finish out the remainder of his term. LaTurner and his wife have 4 young children, and the congressman says he wants to spend more time with his family. You can read the entire statement at KOAMnewsnow.com. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out that door.
And as you head out the door, grab a jacket. A chilly start and a pretty cool day. Low 60s, mostly cloudy skies, occasional northeast wind gusts upwards of 25 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy through the evening and then some gradual clearing overnight. We'll go partly cloudy and into the low 40s, but that's ahead of increasing clouds on our Saturday and Sunday out there. Mostly cloudy skies, scattered showers, and even cooler, if you can believe it can be cooler than what it already is. Upper 50s and into the low 60s this weekend. We'll start to warm up a little bit next week, and then by the end of next week, we're well above average into the 80s. We're also watching thunderstorm chances on Tuesday and the potential for strong, possibly severe storms by next weekend.
Coming up today at noon, we're making beef and broccoli noodles tossed in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. That's interesting.
He always has something interesting, and he gets really crafty with the names.
He does. He really does.
Well, your morning news, of course, continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, an organization in the 4 states is looking for families to host exchange students for the next school year.
And Shannon Becker back in the studio to talk about the big 3 news stories of the week. Always exciting to have Shannon in the studio. And some of you at home have learned this. Amber, you may not know this, but Shannon has known me since I was
Yeah, I believe
a wee thing.
You guys are both from here, homegrown.
He was friends with my older brother. They went to high school together, and so he's known me a very long time. A lot of history there. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us for now. We will see you back here tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. We will not be here. We will see you. It even says Monday morning. Monday morning at 5 a.m.
But we'll see you today at noon.
The community is invited to celebrate Earth Day with a free, family-friendly event in downtown Pittsburgh. Join